أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today we were gonna talk about jinns and what exactly are jinns. There is an entire world that is hidden from our eyes, that is living side by side with us, that is even watching, listening, without us even knowing. And no, this isn't a movie. In Islam, this isn't a fiction either. It is our reality, and we call it the unseen realm of jinns. And to understand this concept, let's go back to the jinn's origin. We humans are all created from clay that is earthly and tangible. Angels are created from light that is pure and radiant. Jinns, on the other hand, are all created from smokeless fire. And no, not an ordinary fire, but a mystical energy that's fast-moving, fluid, and powerful, like a pure, untamed energy, something that defies the boundaries of what we normally know. This is a creation that is entirely different from us. Jinns are not bound by the same physical rules as humans. Jinns can move at speed, and that is even beyond our imagination, that can even pass through barriers and can even shape-shift in different forms. And why we don't see them, or what role do they really play in our lives? Jinns live in a parallel world that overlaps with ours and remains invisible to any human eye. Jinns have this strength that can make them seem invincible. And yes, they are stronger than humans, faster than humans, and have a lifespan that spans centuries. Just imagine the knowledge they gather, and that's over time of existence. Even witnessing empire rise and fall, technology evolve, and even culture shift. It is fascinating and also terrifying. Why would jinns create it this way? And if they are so different, why do humans still hold a superior position in Allah's eyes? Jinns have free will and choices, just like us humans, and have the ability to choose good or evil. That's obedience or rebellion. Rebellious jinns are referred to as shayateen, that seek to mislead humans. They can possess humans and manipulate. And this is a reality that Islam acknowledges. And any possessions doesn't happen randomly. It often occurs unknowingly that invites a jinn into our lives. And this can happen through practices like dabbling with the occult, or even harboring negative emotions like extreme anger or fear, emotions that these jinn shayateens prey upon. Islam provides us with powerful tools for protection from these. That is reciting Ayatul Kursi, seeking refuge in Allah through Surat Al-Falaq and Surat Al-Nas, and maintaining a strong connection with your prayers. These are the most effective shields. And no, it's not a defense, but it's about strengthening your soul, so no external force can harm you. When you have a moment where you doubted yourself, even that's about your faith, or have this fleeting thought that even made you question your purpose, or even planted seed of fear and despair, these are the whispers of shayateen, that is also known as waswasa in Islam. Allah reminds us in the Quran that shaitan's power is limited. Jinns can only suggest, but they cannot force. Surah Al-Isra, verse 65, "Indeed, over my faithful servants, there is for you no authority, and sufficient is your Lord as disposer of affairs." This is why self-awareness and spiritual strength are very important. The stronger your connection with yourself from within, with our Creator, Allah, the harder it is for shayateen or jinns to influence you. Assalamu alaikum. Scientific facts and health benefits in Quran. Quran 75:4 stated that Allah is able to fashion us in perfect order, even the very tips of our fingers, or what we call the fingerprints. So why the fingerprints and not the kidney, nor our brain cells, or any veins? Science proved that our fingertips, especially this part of the body, is one of the most complicated parts, and that is comparing to our eyes, heart, or even the brain, because it is carrying a unique fingerprints. Different person, different unique fingerprints patterns that is now being used. That is to catch criminals, checking identity, or every known person there is. Your own fingerprints is yours alone and cannot be duplicated, not even in other species. Now let's go to the olive oil. Science found that olive oil emits a coherent light that makes it glow by fluorescence, the same way how our planet Earth glow. Before the existence of this science discovery that detect fluorescent light emitted by plants on planet Earth, or even the discovery of quantum theories that explains how it all works. The Quran actually addressed this, a very interesting context about the blessed olive tree and even its oil in a very profound verse in Ayah An-Nur 24:35 that stated that Allah's light is like a niche in which there is a lamp. The lamp is in crystal or crystal-like shining star lit from the oil of the blessed olive tree, whose oil would almost glow. Anything science just found that could be recently or past few years, especially about this universe and the balance of it, are already written in Quran. Could science can duplicate creation of Allah, or science just now discovered it? Let's go now to one of the pillars of Islam, which is what we call Sawm or fasting, and let's connect it through science and discuss its benefits. Fasting is not only in Ramadan. We also have an every week fasting. That's every Monday and Thursday, and any 6 days in the lunar or the month of Shawwal. No water, no food. That's from sunrise to sunset. According to science, when the human body is hungry, it eats itself and does a cleansing process, removing all sick cells, cancer, and even aging cells. And that includes Alzheimer's, and can boost working memory and even your verbal memory. Intermittent fasting improves blood pressure and resting heart rates, even your physical performances. Now let's go to the process of how Muslim prays, or what we call prostration, the standing, or what we call khushu'a, the bowing, or ruq'a, the prostration, or sujud. In science, under Physical Medicine Institute, discuss the physical benefits of Islamic prayer, especially on the human body. Our act of prayer requires the body to move through several distinct body postures, and that is while reciting a supplication, and considered Salah as an excellent physical exercise. Salah is performed 5 times a day, each prayer comprising of a certain number of repetitive units, or what we called rak'ah. Repeats rak'ah a minimum of 17 times a day, total of 48 rak'ah per day. This will ease the balance of the body and even your lower back. And that is brought into a neutral position and even activating core muscles at the same time. Ruk'ah is a forward flexion of our lumbar spine and flexion even the hip joints, including the knee joints that bears load in extension, while sujud, maintaining the lower back flexed and forehead resting on the floor, allow postural neck muscles to be activated in order to control the neural head, especially of its position, by just lowering down. And then the neck turns when we say our salam at the end of the prayer. Our heads perform rotational movements over the cervical vertebrae that improves range of motion on the neck and stretching the trapezius fibers. Salah is considered a yoga in our modern world. And these are the reason why I always told you that Islam is more than just a religion, but a guide of human life here on earth. Assalamu alaikum.